It's time for our final studio broadcast here at Apex Racing TV for the year, as round 3 of the Apex Racing League GT3 trophy heads to Spa for round 3 of the series. Welcome to the Apex Racing TV esports studio. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick. Alongside me once again is David Sampson, and we are very pleased to be bringing you this race tonight. And well, I'm very happy to be back here, David, but well, of course, once again, last time at VAR, another exciting round, and we've got another 60 minutes of racing coming up tonight.
Yeah, both technical tracks. Let's hope we can avoid the early incident, but that's always unavoidable at VIR. It's a tight track. But no, Spa's going to bring out the fast. The fast people are going to go very fast, and the slow people are going to struggle. It's this track above all else. If, let's face it, when you first get iRacing, if you've got access to a lot of tracks, this is the track you show your friends. This is the most popular track, I think, on the service, I'm willing to say.
Yeah, that up there with Watkins Glen as the most popular tracks on the sim. And of course, a very popular car is becoming the Audi. We've had plenty of changes this week. Your friend Zach has changed as well. He's ditched the Mercedes.
Has he really?
Today, and he's gone for the Audi. One of the late additions. Lots of the Italian drivers as well, switching to the Audi. It's now pretty much the most popular car in the series. We've got about 10 of them now after the early stage of the season, where I think we turned up at Silverstone, there were 2. And so people are liking the car.
Yeah, it's tricky though. I do fear for the lesser skilled. So not Zach, but it is a tricky car. Yes, you get what feels like unlimited rotation, but when you've over-rotated, you get what feels like unlimited rotation. It can be really tricky, especially later into the race and on cold tyres. So I just hope people take it easy in the first lap.
And let's of course remind ourselves of the calendar. We've already been to Silverstone this year. We've been to VIR. And of course, next up we've got, well, tonight we've got Spa, Mugello, which I'll be looking forward to throughout the festive period. And then Watkins and many other classics as well. Montreal and Okayama to round out the season. But let's have a quick reminder of what happened last time out. And so probably the biggest moments from last time out, Jacob Toft's pit entry. This was a piece of stunning driving. And it pretty much won him the race, because at this point, he's going to be overtaken in the pits because he's got to take more fuel, but he managed to make a break for it in this moment of madness.
Yeah, it was very smart, very well controlled of him. It did matter because, was it Alessandro? Did have the shorter pit, he did have the gap he needed to probably make the jump, but when pit came to shove, literally, he he pulled off exactly that, what we're seeing on the screen, and Alessandro had to wait behind a very slow pitting Porsche, whereas Toft got it by. Nicely done. And I now know where the name's been bothering me. This name, Toft, where it's been, I've raced him all week. We had some really good battles, side by side, finished side by side. Couldn't think where I knew the name. The second you said it, came flooding back. He was driving the Porsche there as well. He's a quick dude.
Yeah, very good driver. Been around for many years as well, and I think has improved a lot over the last few years as well. So yeah, best of luck to Jacob tonight across him and Porter, the 2 winners so far this season. And that means that at the top of the GT3 Pro standings, we do currently have Alessandro Porter with a first and a second, Dalla Valle with a couple of third place finishes. Then you got Zach, who managed to finish in third back at Silverstone. And then a bit of a drop back to your Tortoise and Piozzi in the Pro-Am standings. At the moment, we've got Del Piccolo leading the way. Lowest I-rated... no, he's not lowest I-rated driver, is he? I can't remember if I picked him. I don't think I did pick him for the championship. Maybe I should have done. But Greg Hubler's doing very well, currently in the runners up spot.
He's doing very well, because we know Mark Hutchinson's no slow coach, to say the least. Yeah, it's great to see. Primes have really stepped up. Been impressed with their performances this season, because the pro class is strong this series as well. But yeah, it's been great to see.
And in the amateurs at the moment, and I'm just being told that I picked Piazzese. I'm getting confused between the Italians who have P's in their name. So Piazzese is not doing that well. He did all right at Silverstone, and I think he's doing very well at VIR, so hopefully my pick will come back. In the amateur standings at the moment, we've got Atanzov at the top, just level at the moment with Hedgecock. I think Gorgi was very good last time out. I managed to take the race win at VIR. And so he's a tricky one, but Adam's been very consistent so far this season, and that's what we expect from Adam, honestly.
Yes, indeed. He's been very consistent. He was in the prototype as well, wasn't he? No, he was LMP3. He was
LMP3. Yeah.
Yeah, very strong there as well.
Yeah.
But no, it's been great. We've got a good bunch. They seem to be all turning out as well for every race. Yeah, and it's nice to see 3 Pro-Am, and Am. We have seen a bit of a divide, but we've seen a lot of crossover, but not as much as, say, the Tarosky, you know, in the Prototype Challenge. But no, it's going to be a tough one. We've seen 3 names, especially in the Pro, rise to the top, but I think Toff surprised everyone with that. It was a dominant display from end to end, and yeah, he made the most of a situation, but it just, once again, he's been nailing everything. So yeah, I'm rooting for him this race.
Yeah, and he very much made that situation for himself as well. That was a 50-50 move whether it was going to work, and he ended up on the positive side of the coin. In the Teams Championship as well, we've got Absolute Motorsport leading the way on that one. Of course, a big gap as well over ADX Racing Esports and ATK Sim Racing. But don't rule that one out getting much closer. It's a long season, 12 rounds, and only 2 races into the championship, so this is very early stages. Let's have a look at the circuit. This place is called Spa, if you've never heard of it before, and it starts off all at La Source. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to do a jinx, and this is not wise considering what we saw last time out, but turn 1 at Spa, it's not usually much of an issue. People always think it's going to be a problem, and then we get down there, and it's all right.
It's a blind exit, so if something does go wrong, i.e. you clip someone's rear, it takes them for a while to spin. By the time they're facing the wrong way, it does bundle up quick. It is quite blind. It's downhill, on camber, but you come, I don't know, it's tough, and there's a horrible slowdown on the exit, which you get punished for avoiding. I hope you are correct, but if someone goes for the inside lunge and outbreaks themselves, all they've got to do is clip someone so gently because they're on full lock that their car 180s, and then the next lot come round and VIR happens.
Yeah, yeah, maybe we can call it a VIR moment from now on. And of course, Eau Rouge is lethal. And we are fortunately using the Grand Prix pits here, not the endurance pits where the turn 1 is Eau Rouge, because that can be absolutely disastrous. Of course, turn 9, a fair bit different in real life now, is turn 9, and then the Pouon turn 10. Where of course now it's all gravel outside the circuit. Here we've got a lot of tarmac still, and then of course the La Fagna and Stavolo and so many great corners. I assume you like this place, right? I know that you struggle to get right up on the top pace.
Yeah,
but
I do
to make laps around here.
I enjoy this track, but every year, every season, it's the same thing. It's because it's such a popular track. The biggest names come out and they're endurance prepped for it. You know, it's part of their team events. It's part of their, it's their bread and butter. So yeah, being inside that top 10 in top split is something I just don't know how to do. So I enjoy it. It's just difficult to see that gap be there every season.
Do Blanchimont easy flat out, I guess, in these cars, even in the draft, or
Blanchimont
is it a bit tough?
Is easy flat out for all the drivers that didn't just switch to the Audi. It's flat out in the Audi. Easy flat out, no. If you're not paying attention to your steering inputs and the TC kicks in, you're dead. Even if you try and open the wheel, it's too late. So the Audi and the Lambo, same characteristic. It can be easy flat, but a little bit too much steering input, or you clip the inside curb. Yeah, you just got to be very smooth and committed. But cold tyres and near the end of your stint can catch people out big time.
For sure. Well, watch out for that one, and any racing around there as well is always fantastic. So, well, let's go across into qualifying. We'll go to a quick advert now, and when we are back, we'll be trackside, and we will be watching the half-an-hour qualifying session before we get into the 60-minute race. See you in a moment.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, You will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Welcome to Spa. We are currently midway through our half-an-hour qualifying session. Got 10 minutes for the AMs, 10 minutes for the Pro-Ams, and 12 minutes for the Pros in this session. And, well, it's used to be the most treacherous qualifying ever was Spa because of the off-tracks. But since they made it a bit more lenient 2 or 3 years ago, it's not quite so bad. How have you been finding it in the official series so far this week? Have you been banging in all your laps without 1x's?
I think all my attempts I had one of the... So yes, it's definitely better than it used to be. I had 1x, one lap 1x in qualifying. In race conditions, I still think it's a little harsh. The inside curbs are quite heavily tracked. There's so many track out points here where nowadays, because of the slower grass and definitely the gravel, this is what's annoying me the most. Since the gravel change, we can loosen up the gravel X's now because you lose so much time. There is no esport cut-in to be had. You lose time and you're punished, which doesn't make sense to me. That isn't a 1x to me. There's a few right-handers here at Spa where if you track out, you lose tenths and you're given 1x. I agree with grass cuts, especially inside cuts. I can understand where they're coming from. But in tracks like here in Red Bull, where the punishment is easily delivered now, I think they should remove the 1x's.
It's weird how my brain changed when I was doing some races at Mugello. And when I saw, as we have a bit of a spin there, when I saw a driver hit the gravel ahead of me, I thought, I'm in here. And they just clipped it a little bit.
No, it's ridiculous.
And I knew instantly I'm going to gain half a second on this guy on the next straight.
It's a lot, right?
Pass. So yeah, it's a weird one how it really does change the dynamic of the racing where, yeah, you just go slightly wide and you are a sitting duck for the next corner. Currently we are nearly 9 minutes into the session. Remember, the drivers, as long as they start their lap before the 10 minutes is up, they can complete the lap. So there are going to be a fair few more improvements before the end of the session. Currently Nikolai Agard is at the top. Giacomo Caranant is currently in second position. And Matzi Helenius is in third position. Matzi with a bit of an up and down season so far. Very strong at Silverstone, but had some setbacks up
I think he won, right?
I think he did, yeah.
Yeah, he won Silverstone and had his car body parts removed multiple times at VAR.
Yeah.
Basically. No, he's looking good. He's done a few officials this week, but yeah, he didn't have the best luck. So I think he's just looking forward to this, where it's a little bit more, a bit more of a chilled environment. It has been tough out there this week. I think everyone's got scars.
Sure.
As I say, everyone's at their best here, and the draft is quite low, so the urge to send is strong. Yeah, I've got scars. No real damage, but I'm down 50 iRacing, so if someone could find it, I'll send you my address.
So I think that's Helenius' end of his qualifying. Here is Anton Demianov, currently in 11th position overall. He's out on circuit. We've also got Kasirovskas on track. Hedgecock, who's joint championship leader. He's actually next to Atanasov in 7th and 8th positions at the moment in this qualifying session. The top two in the championship. As Simonov, no personal best sectors on this lap, so it's not looking particularly likely that he's going to be able to set an improvement. And of course, welcome to everyone on the YouTube chat. Thank you very much for your attendance. Let us know who you are supporting. You already know Mark Tubes is supporting Jacob Tofts. And yes, yeah, best of luck to the Mag Performance driver going for back-to-back wins tonight.
See, I knew the name because at one point in the race, I had the opportunity to push one of the two drivers. There were two drivers in front of me, side by side, and I had the overrun. There was a Porsche on the left, and there was a Ferrari on the right. And for some reason, I pushed Adam. We finished side by side at the finish line in the first race. I think I got him in the second race. I think he got me in the third. But yeah, so we brought a report on track, and the name was bothering me because I knew it from somewhere, and I thought it was just going to slip away. But yeah, I think it's going to be strong. 17-4, that's not too shabby from Agard there. I think we're expecting, well, depends because I've seen some ridiculous times out there this week. But let's say pole for the pros is a... what's the temps?
15-9, I'll go for.
15-9?
Yeah.
I don't know, son. Oh, temperatures on screen. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. 16-4. I think we're going to go for pole. I don't know. That is quite cold. And you say Zach switched to an Audi. Oof.
Yeah. Only today. I'm not sure how much Feb he's got now. So he'll handle himself all right. There is Elanius across the line, and he doesn't improve. He was 2 tenths slower. And I think that's everyone. So that is all the amateur drivers done. They were using all the time as well. He must have only just got across the line to start that final lap as well, Elanius, but he is complete. And we've got the Pro-Ams driving along, and they'll be setting their first laps in a moment, and just, yeah, embarking on those first laps right now. But we will give a shout to one of the new series which is coming up on Apex Racing League, the Apex Racing League Prototype Championship. And this is coming up on the 4th of January. It is Thursday night. It's going to be broadcast on Apex Racing TV. And it is LMDH or GTP single class. There are going to be upwards of potentially 60 GTPs. It's going to be like no other series on iRacing. We love the GTP cars, but let's have more of them. And it's going to be over the course of 9 rounds, ending in late February. And you can sign up for yourself at apexracingleague.com.
For Thursday nights? Well, how long are the races?
Hour-long race. 7 of them are 60 minutes. 2 of them are 75 minutes.
Got me tempted, Sam.
A lot of people signed up already. I think we've got about 17 sign-ups so far. Announced it yesterday, so we're expecting a decent size grid, I think. And of course, it will have the Pro and Pro-Am and Am standings as well, so everyone is welcome.
Nice.
And we have got a vote in the YouTube chat. Let us know, is it going to be faster or slower than a 16-4? If it is a 16-4, then David wins. If it's anything else,
oh, thanks.
Then the YouTube chat wins.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is cold. This is very cold. A lot colder than we got in the officials. Well, I say a lot. It's only 2 degrees, but 2 degrees at Spa over 2 minutes with the amount of corners there are adds up a lot. And they've got draft. This is open quali, so they're cheating.
You're trying to come towards my thinking of a 15-9.
No, that ain't happening. Because end of the day, that draft will be negated by dirtier. So I can't see a 15-9. Let's see.
Didn't help Ubertali. He backed out of that lap. Bizzaglia moves up to 3rd position, but Del Piccolo, top of the Pro-Am drivers in the championship. He goes to the top of the standings overall. A Merrick Van Grieken improving as well. Plenty of other times being pushed in. Makes our top 9 separated by just half a second at the moment. It's pretty close. Here's Ryan Walker. Thanks to Ryan for setting up his webcam and yeah, the setup that he's got for this qualifying lap.
Yeah, it's good. Hello, Jason, CJ, Starg Living, all in chat. Hello. Hope you guys are well. Got people predicting lap times.
Faster is currently winning the poll. I must say I did help out that side. Carl Sketchley now to the top of the standings, half a tenth of a second clear in the Ferrari. I've got a couple of Audis near the top. We will see plenty of them, but plenty of Ferraris are still out there, plenty of Porsches out there as well. We've got a few BMWs, a handful of Mercs, and unfortunately a lack of Lamborghinis.
The Lamborghini is what I've been driving this week. Seriously, straight up. I'm not going to say it's an Audi underneath that's green, but it's an Audi underneath that's green. No, I liked it. It is sketchy. I get why it's not the most popular choice. But I've seen it win top split. 6.1k softs, I've seen it win. But I think the pick for the league here is the Ferrari. You asked if where did you ask me? It was flat? Radeon. Blanchimont, of course. That makes more sense. It is so flat out in the Ferrari, it's easy, even on low wing. Whereas in the Audi, it's flat out, but you better not be distracted.
Dryout is very upset that there's no Lambos. Join the series. Well, actually, sign-ups aren't currently open, but when sign-ups do open, join the series in a Lambo.
There's a reason why there's no Lambos. Because when this league opened, the Audi and Lambo was trash.
Yeah.
And then when the new Audi dropped, you offered free choice to the Audi.
Yeah.
So that's why. Yeah, there is no reason for someone to be in a Lambo. They'd have to take either a 50-point deficit or to have known last season it was going to be strong.
Yeah. Basically, it now moves up to the top. Some improvements are coming in. Vitozzi up to 4th place. Ubertali got in a lap time. He was in 9th and then immediately towed back to the pits. But to the top now goes Mark Hutchinson, and we're very close to dipping into the 2-minute 16s. But Hutchinson in that BMW, there's not any other BMWs in the top 15, but he is representing the German manufacturer very well.
Yeah, it's not a bad car. It's quick in a straight line here at Spa. But then it's just a bit of like a submarine in the corners, and there's a lot of corners. No, I mean, it's not too bad. It's never going to be a car I enjoy driving, especially a track like this. But no, if you can make the BMW last whole season, I think BMW and Ferrari over a season's a much better shout than the Audi. We'll see.
Of course, drivers can use the Ford and the McLaren as well.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Do you pay them?
Well, you could go for the long-term strat and just be really good at Bathurst in the Mecca. That's usually the go-to car for Bathurst, but unfortunately, this is a 12-round series and only one of the rounds are at Bathurst. So.
Teague's saying we should have allowed a free Lambo as well. And hindsight being 2020 is a good shout because obviously we now know.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, we now got confirmed that they are just one car.
Yeah.
But no, it's a good shout. But yeah, there is a reason why there's absolutely zero.
Here's Del Piccolo, who was pole sitter at one point in this session, but I think this is just an outlap for him. I don't think he's pushing. I'm certainly seeing no green sectors at the moment for the Italian. Everyone is going back out on circuit. Remember, got to start your lap before the 20-minute mark. Will be easy for Del Piccolo, but I think Hutchinson might be on his final lap as it stands. I think he only just came out of the pit, so I wonder if Hutchinson has slightly mistimed this one and might run out of time to set a final effort.
So Greg Hubler, as he's driving, which means he can't hear me now, he asked me not to back him for this one, not to make him my pick because he doesn't like Spa.
Well, he's done all right so far this season.
Yeah, no, he just singled out Spa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I ignored him, and he's running a BMW, which I didn't realise. But he's doing really well here. 76 thousandths off pole. BMW's looking strong, but I think once we see the pros drop, we're going to see the difference and why the BMW is where it is. I mean, it is the Ferrari shot. Like, we're seeing the BMWs and Ferraris near the top because there's a lot of nervous drivers out there on a very grippy Spa, very nervous about off tracks, very nervous about being flat in the on-balance areas. And the Ferrari and BMW, you do not have to worry about said mortal problems. You don't have to worry about them at all. In the Audi, you do. So that's why we're going to see the pros. It gets like this. Every now and then we get what is the OP car is always the question. But sometimes the OP car is a tricky car to drive. So it's not about OP. You also need to be able to drive it and able to extract that extraness every lap, especially in qualifying, especially in the iRacing type qualifying where you're, you go from cold tyres to overheated tyres so quickly.
We have an argument going on in chat between KCR Stig and Teague Races between Nords and Bathurst being the best circuit in the world. I think I'm not sure which way I'd go. Probably Nords on that one.
So but a little backstory.
Good.
Teague only drives the Nords.
Oh really? Wow.
And Zach basically lives at Bathurst.
Okay.
Teague always tells me his home track's Sonoma, and I always say, no, mate, your home track is the North Shore.
Michael Hooper moved up into second place. I think Hooper near the top throughout this season. There could still be some changes. Top 4 are all back to the pits. This man is the highest placed driver who is currently on a lap. He just about managed to start a lap in time. Antonio Vitozzi as well just about managed to start a lap. We've also got Ubertali, Aske Luritzen and Ryan Walker all trying to set times as the pros are leaving the pits for their out laps. This lap for Bisaglia, pretty good. 2 personal best sectors out of 3 so far. This could definitely get him on the front couple of rows.
And so Thomas has got a head out later, mate. We'll talk to you soon. Wait until he drives.
I was just looking for Bisaglia. Personal best 4th sector as well. This is going to be very close to provisional pole.
Yeah, not the greatest of exits. That poll's closed in 30 seconds. Get your vote in.
He has done it. Pole position for Marco Bisaglia. That is top of the Pro-Am drivers. Great effort for a man who was 3rd row of the grid for the vast majority of that session. Not sure if Vitozzi is going to improve, honestly. And yeah, it's nothing special for him. Just 1 personal best sector on that final effort. Ryan Walker is still on circuit, but I don't think he started his lap time in time. So he will not set a time. And now we wait for the pro drivers to see what efforts they can post.
Yep. Any predictions on pole? Do you have a prediction?
I feel like you just got to go boring and go for Porter, because frankly, Silverstone, he was dominant. VIR, I know Tofts managed to beat him, but in practice tonight, it looked like the Italian had the advantage. So yeah, I'm going to go for Alessandro Porter for pole position.
I want to go Tofts because he went toe-to-toe with me every corner, but that is the problem. If he went toe-for-toe with me, he's not getting pole. So I'm going to go with Zach. I know he's new to the car. I know he hasn't raced this week at Spa.
Yeah, all reasons not to go for him.
Yeah, but also he doesn't know. He just doesn't know how to lose. That's his attitude. Like, he'll never settle. Second is losing to him. So it's a good trait. I've never had that trait. Second, when I'm gaining 76 iRacing, I'm second. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm really happy. In 6 laps time, I'm done. We want a sub 16.
16.4 apparently is going to be beat 54% to 45%.
I did a 16.2 in... Was it 16.2? Let's bring it up in 18C. Hold on. Check. I did. In quali trim, obviously. I did a 16.377. That was my all best of the week, grinding hundreds of laps, trying to get quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker.
Because these guys have a lot of laps. They've got more than the 2 laps that they usually get. Not many more. It's a very long circuit. And when you go back to the pits, it takes some time as well. But yeah, they have got some extra time compared to the officials. At least here is Zach White racing along in that new Audi machine for Quality Control Racing. I'm comparing sector times. Very good first few sectors for Carlos Sampaoli. Watch out for Sampaoli to get right up there. He's about to come up to the line. Currently Porter on pole. Tofts goes and beats him though with a 16.4. More times coming in. Puozzi actually a little bit off in the final sectors, and Sampaoli as well a little bit off. So Tofts down to a 16.4 already. And well, David, right now you're hoping that no one improves on that.
I got provisional pole. That's what I guessed. Yeah. But no, that's not going to stay. If that's their first lap, second lap is quicker if you don't scrub. It's a big if because it's so easy to scrub. No, so if 16.4 is their first attempt and they've got another 8 minutes, I can see a 1 happening.
This might be good enough for 4th position for Zach. He's got Alcaraz in 3rd place, who's also moved to the Audi for this round. Can Zach get in amongst that range? Oh, well, he can do better than that. He goes up into the front row of the grid. It wasn't a great start to the lap, but he really brought it back as the lap went on. and he finishes in second place. And he is right in the mix. 3 different manufacturers in the top 3 at the moment. And we've just got a handful more pro drivers to set times. Well, more than a handful. A few drivers, I think, getting 1Xs and towing back to the pits. This man was just a bit late to start his lap for Absolute Motorsport SRP, Manuel Randazzo, and he will post down in 40th place, but seemingly is going to be pushing on this second lap.
It's nice to know I'm not slow. Me and Toffs were...
Yeah, you'd be in pole position right now.
Well, no, Toffs was quicker in quality than me, even in the Porsche. But no, I had some brilliant battles with him in every race. As I say, we finished side by side at the finish line in one of them. Yeah, he's a great driver. He makes that Porsche work. I wish I could make the Porsche. That's what I would be in this season, but I don't know. I think in the high downforce tracks, I still think the Porsche is going to be number 1. But it takes such a deficit at tracks like this.
Chris Vandenesse trying his best in the Porsche. This is a push lap for him. Personal best sector 2, personal best sector 3, personal best sector 4. It's looking good right now for Chris. No, actually, it wasn't a personal best sector 4. He's only just crossed the line. 5 sectors on this circuit, and the final sector is literally just this chicane, and then the run to the line works. All about that slow speed car performance, and he does improve by a 1/10 of a second, but that's enough to get him up a fair few places. Meanwhile, Delaval, who's been able to finish on the podium on both races so far this season, well, it looks like he's doing the same again. He's up in 3rd position with that latest lap time.
Yeah, it's looking close out there. You can definitely see, expect time to drop. We've got Matty in chat. Kudos on your lap, mate. How's it holding? 29th? Man, it's tough out there, Matty. Oh, as that's definitely a 1X. Oh, he's on an outlap again. Well, he now is.
Now he's yeah, I wasn't pushing anyway, guys.
Yeah.
Here comes Alcaraz. I do like that livery. I think that works well on the Audi one. I appreciate how it looks. Yellow from the front and blue from the sides. We are always going to be supporting liveries like that. Matty mentioning that he got a 1X on his second lap, so he could have improved. Maybe he would have got into the 17s if it weren't for that. Instead, remained with an 18. No, so he did set a 17.9, but yeah, maybe could have got a couple of places higher if it weren't for that mistake.
Sorry to hear, Matty. Jacob's getting ready.
Oh, this is a very slow warm up. Oh, he's laying someone past so he can get the draft. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Or he was setting up the exit by taking it wide and saw a car coming. Yeah, no. I think the guy was on a push lap. Jacob realised late. Right, let's see. I was looking. A little bit of rear slide, but he gets out all the way and gets out there nice and early with a wide open wheel. But a little bit of a slip here can cost you almost, maybe half a 10th all the way to the end. Why not sound a lot? It does hurt. Maximising the curb.
Oh no, he has picked up 1X. So yeah, that's it for Toffs. He's not going to be able to improve because you need to complete your lap time before the end of the 32 minutes. This is a bit of an unusual session where actually the pros have a little bit less time than the pro-ams and the AMs. 2 minutes is a rough guess, so that
at this track,
half the time it will benefit a bit more. But yeah, of course, a lap time is longer than 2 minutes.
That's a good point.
So it opens the door for Delaval and Cote to put on some pressure.
Remember, we've always seen these boys working as a unit out in qualifying, but as you can see at Spa, it's just they've chose to stay away from each other.
Yeah.
Like I say, the dirty air here is just not worth the gains.
I don't think Tokyo's on a push lap at the moment, but he's not got time to do another lap. If you're not already on a lap, you're not going to have time because this is a 2 minute 16 lap and we've got only 2 minutes of the session remaining. So yeah, not much time for those drivers. Porter moves up to 3rd position. Nice effort from him. Still just lacking that 0.13 to the pole sitter, but it does look closer than we've seen so far this season. The top 5 separated by less than 2/10, and frankly, Porter was dominant at Silverstone and Toffs and Porter was dominant at VIR. It's positive signs. There is a bit more competition tonight. And I think the highest placed driver who's most likely to challenge them is going to be Delaval, albeit no personal sectors so far for the man running in 4th position.
I'm just gutted that all I could predict was the pole time in the top 2. I must be getting rusty.
You're getting good. I mean, round 3 of the championship and you're peaking.
I am peaking.
End of the year, and you've cracked it.
I've cracked it. Yeah, I mean, you were wise picking Porter. I think I got a bit lucky here picking Toffs and Zach in a 16-4, but well, I think they definitely could have, because that was their first attempt. It was their first flying lap. If they'd have double out laps, which they had plenty of time to do, they could have definitely found a little bit more performance.
This is going to be an improvement from Chatterton. He's got a few personal best sectors, so he's going to move maybe as high as the top. I'm guessing here. I'll go 24th, I reckon, for Chatterton here. Yeah,
Chris is a great guy. I see him grinding hard. I had a few races with him. I think he was in the Ferrari. Yeah. Yeah, he's a good dude. He races a lot. I see him all the time on track.
Delaval with a personal best sector 4, but the rest of the lap is underwhelming. And so I think this will not be an improvement for him, and I think he will have to stay in 4th position, and that is what happens. He was only a 10th down on his best lap, but it demonstrates that actually his previous one was a very good effort. And that is everyone now across the line, and that is qualifying complete for round 3 of the championship, and we can go through the grid then for this 60-minute race coming up. Another 130 points available for whoever can come out victorious. And on pole position it is Jacob Tofts, once again looking for back-to-back victories. Zach White lines up in 2nd place. Then it's Alessandro Porza, championship leader. Andrea Dalaval in 4th. Then it's Aleix Alcaraz, Carlos Sampaoli, Roman Bokler, and Marco Bizzaglia performing very well, top of the prams in 8th place overall. Then it's Torquio, Hutchinson, Piotti, and Pagnini. In 13th place, it's Michael Hooper. Then it's Greg Hubler, Chris van der Nesse, Emeric van Grieken, Carl Sketchley, Antoine Graman, Andrea Del Piccolo, Matteo Ubertali, 20th. Then it is Chatterton, Bertozzi, Agard Van Horn, David Vanzini, Broderick, Piazzese, Walker, Lauritsen, Carinant, Mola in 32nd. 33rd, it's Matti Helenius, Manuel Randazzo in 34th. Then it's Antansov, Cook, Fowler, Hancocks, Hedgecock, Schwab, Brahmanis, Kasarorskas, Dalat, Simonov, Van Helden, Lauritsen, Caserta, Bowden, Rashiani, and Walsh. Rashiani, by the way, with a qualifying ban. That's why he saved far down in 49th.
Oh, 49. That's a penalty hard to swallow. That's a lot. Like, you're going to get lapped when it goes green. That's how far back you are.
Good viewing spot, though, is 49th position. Get to see everything that's going on in front of you. Watch out for Jonas Bowden. I mean, obviously, we've got Bowden down in 48th. Caserta in 49th as well. I think maybe it was a different man compared to Bermanis. I thought I may have driven against Bermanis in an IndyCar practice session a couple of days ago, but it might be someone else. I'm not quite sure. He's alongside his fellow countryman Kasarorskas on the 21st row of the grid as the driver starts pulling away. And, well, how do you rate Toff's chances? Do you think he's going to be able to do what he did last time and just hold on to the lead throughout?
No, but Zach's really smart, so he's going to be fuel saving and pushing, I would imagine. He's going to want to get that break away from the guys behind. So I think Toffs is going to sit pretty... As long as he's gets good away, I imagine Zach is going to go for the mentality of pushing, fuel saving, and trying to drop the guys behind. But yeah, I think Toffs can do this.
Let's find out. Jacob Toffs brings us to the green flag, and 60 minutes of racing in the Apex Racing League GT3 trophy is underway at Spa. And already trying to defend that 2nd position is White, but he's not going to be able to do it. Porter immediately getting underneath him. Also looks like a good start for Alcaraz, but now there's contact and Alcaraz is off into the wall. He had the move done, but it just seemed like he moved a bit too far to the left and managed to pit maneuver himself into the wall. Well, but I'm sure Alcaraz won't see it in the same way. It was generally a good start for all the drivers on the odd side of the grid as they make their way up the Eau Rouge and Radion, and now the Camel Straight. And it's a fantastic start for Alessandro Porta, who's now going for the lead from 3rd position. He's lined this up perfectly. He had the best line into turn 1. He used the draft on the Camel Straight, and it's now the Ferrari which leads the way.
Yeah, what a start from Porter. I mean, Zach was away quite poorly. His gap to P1 was significant, like a car length and a half. So I think he just got caught napping there, and Porter was not. Porter was completely on it, and the way it actually came around with the Ferrari on the Porsche, that Toffs had no chance. Had it been the Audi, it might have been a different story, but yeah, Porter's really hooked this up at a pivotal moment, because, yeah, let's see. This is not a good order for it to be in from the start. That Ferrari's plenty quick enough. As we see him, Hutchins being mugged.
Trying to keep tabs with Bizzaglia, he's still top of the Pro-Am drivers. But Hutchinson having to fight off Piozzi, but ended up falling behind anyway. And back to 10th place. It's also been a poor start for our AM pole sitter, Nikolai Agard. Started up in 23rd place today, Agard. He's down to 31st, means that Matti Helenius is now top of the AMs. Albeit we've got a row of AMs. We've got Helenius, Karanant, Agard, Atanzov, Cook, Fowler, Hedgecock, Bermanis, Schwab, Hancocks and Kasarovskis all in a row.
Hutchinson's
Hutchinson has had a setback, and if you're crashing around that part of the circuit, usually you're in the wall, but Hutchinson has managed to avoid it this time.
Yeah, he's having a nightmare. Let's see. We'll get a replay of what actually happened as we're on board with Dalval.
He lost out to Bokler. Bokler up 3 places. Really nice start for him.
Yeah, yeah. Just looking through. The Pro-Am of Marco...
Uh-oh. Luritzen involved with Hubler. He had a good qualifying to Greg, but he has dropped a lot of places. And Matti Helenius as well has been involved in a separate incident just as he came across that. And our AM leader, and one of our front-running AM drivers in the championship as well, has had a problem. And Greg Hubler seemingly continues to have a problem. Not sure if that's a slowdown or what, but he is crawling along as he sends into La Source. Drivers going vastly different speeds heading into turn 1.
Yeah, let's see. We'll get a couple of replays as Greg looks hungry because he's going, ooh.
Oh, I mean, what's happened to that other car? They're in the wall. Now they're on the apex of everything.
No words. I assume they're using an iPad. I have no words. Greg was there. He was completely against the wall. I don't know where, what. Was quite a reaction to the door-to-door touch, though. Perhaps he lifted out at the moment he touched. I have no idea.
I'm trying to figure out who it was. I don't know who it was. We'll get a replay of it eventually, I think. But there's a lot of action on this lap and a half. Not a whole lot of action near the front. Porter leading the way, but we're not expecting that to be decisive necessarily. Moves should be possible, and with the fuel saving as well possible in the draft. The lead isn't a lucrative position, certainly not like it was back at VIR 1 week ago.
No, that's correct. Yeah, if you can... Well, I mean, Porter's good enough that he can fuel save this from the lead, but it still doesn't make it easy. Zag, Toffs will be fuel saving like absolute crazy. You can get, say, 3 seconds on your opponent here, but as I say, that isn't going to happen up front because all 3 of them, yeah, they know what they're doing. So, and I say it's not the best order for it to be in for Zach and Toffs, to be honest. Yeah.
Luritzen making up moves. He's already, well, Mola's up 9 places. Further down the order, there have been a lot of big changes. None of the AMs seemingly have made big gains, but some of the Pro-Ams have made up a lot of places. Mola's up 9, Luritzen is up 6, and he might be up 7 in a moment here, because he's got his car underneath, but bad news for him is that we never saw the BMW in shot, and that was because he was alongside throughout the final chicane. On the exit, though, it's much better for the Porsche, and they might both be under pressure from Van Horn, just behind, who is also going to nip down the inside. And Van Horn moves his way past Mola as well, who after a very strong start is losing a couple of the places he's previously gained.
Yeah, nice move for Robert there. Just looking up and down the order, we've got 4 different manufacturers in the top 4. That's always nice to see. As we see Zach going on a move, yep. Well done, alongside. Problem with trying this too many times, I mean, he pulled it off, but you do not want to lose that draft to Porter. So Porter's going to be pushing right now to see if he can just close that door.
That was very generous, wasn't it, from Tops? It was clear that he realised he was slower and didn't want to, as you say, lose time to Porter ahead.
Yeah, because the gaps will grow huge if I mean, there is a chance the draft is broken. As we see Porter there taking what we call the performance off track, pushing the throttle early and tracking out deliberately. But yeah, this could be a problem.
20x the drivers have at their disposal.
That's not bad for an hour.
No. So here's some replays.
Okay, so let's have a look at this. Yeah, Zach was just sleeping.
And does Alcaraz come across? Oh, so Alcaraz thought he was clear, didn't he? But he never was.
Yeah. That's tough.
David and PSA's involved, and well, they were very lucky not to get other cars involved.
Wow, he turned into a Beyblade. Hello, Kenny. Turned into an absolute Beyblade. Let's see what happened to... Oh.
That was Lewitson on the inside, Hubler on the outside. And then Hellenius tries a similar move and is so slow and gets collected from behind.
Oh, yeah. Matty and Greg both there, sad for me to see. Yeah.
Oh, into the wall. That is Bramanes.
You asked if it's easy flat. It is, unless there is a bit of TC, then you're dead. Porsche, Audi, Lambo.
What causes the TC to kick in? Is it like that initial slide and then it...
Yeah, it's if your rear starts sliding and the car's like, okay, I can save you. And the problem is that interrupt, oh man,
yeah.
It's like a air brake at the rear and yeah, your car gets very, very loose. Now, fun fact, don't turn off the TC to fix it. That isn't going to solve the problem. You just have to, be very careful with your steering inputs. Otherwise, it is over. That's the problem. You don't survive that hit. But the Ferrari isn't going to have that problem. The BMW isn't going to have that problem. The Mercedes isn't going to have that problem.
We've got quite a train right now behind Alessandro Torchio. He's got Bisaglia, who's top of the Pro-Amps, done of course with the issue for Hutchinson earlier on. He's got a comfortable lead in the Pro-Amps. He's got a few cars between himself and Hooper.
We never saw what happened to Hutchinson, right? Try and get that.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
I think he just tracked it.
Stabilo, is that what it's called?
Yeah, I didn't see it, yeah.
He did well not to crash into the wall.
Yeah,
saying earlier on, usually if you have a spin at that corner, then, ooh, that's not in the wall for Broderick, but he might be collected still. Good avoidance. Good avoidance. I think that may have been Agard who was the closest to hitting it.
Yeah, let's see. Did Aaron just break the spell I just said? Because it's easy flat. Oh no, that's a different corner. Oh, yeah, he's lost it in No Name, hasn't he?
No, that was Puon.
Oh, Puon. Sorry, of course. Yeah.
You need an F1 car if you're going to be going flat through there.
Yeah. Yeah, all the cars can lose it in Puon. We were talking about Blanchimont. This corner. That's what I was talking about when I was talking about the easy flats. But yeah, Puon's a scary corner.
America a little bit wide. And I think Raman is going to be past her.
Yeah, BMW gets the inside.
And now it's just a case for Van Grieken not to lose any more places because he's in a tricky position. But fortunately for him, there wasn't the attack from the bare-paved car behind of Sketchley. And then also Del Piccolo, who of course has got the championship to consider as well as Del Piccolo. All these Pro-Ams fairly evenly matched there. They're about 6 seconds behind. No, they're 3 seconds behind the amateur leader, or the Pro-Am leader, apologies, of Bizzaclear. Currently, our amateur leader is Giacomo Carinante. I'm not sure why I'm struggling to pronounce his name, honestly. And he's top of the amateur drivers at the moment, 26th place over.
That's because leading the AMs is cursed at the moment. We keep losing our leader. Oh, as we're going for a send? No. A double switchback? No. Just get through. Looks like that gap. Well, it's 1 second exactly, so Zach's just about hanging on, but it's not a great omen as we see it to 1.1. Yeah, that's not a great sign. Walter's going to be really pushing to get that gap broken. Yeah, and Toffs is in a Porsche, so he can't even push Zach to sort of bring that gap down. Let's say fuel saving can still bring them really into it. Tyres are going to be okay. Tyres and GT3, as long as you're driving well. I'm seeing drivers finish on like 84%. You could triple stint this race.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't. But you could. Whereas LMDH seems to have gone the other way. People end in a 45-minute race on 6%, 13%. Unbelievable.
It's something that I have suggested in the past, and I think usually people are very negative to it. But do you think we should be able to accelerate the tyre wear, where you can change a parameter which puts it on 200% wear for any car?
Please don't do that to anything I'm in.
But like, you know, we've recently concluded the Apex Racing Henry Super Formula, and that's a solid car. But it'd be way better if you actually had tyre wear. You've got drivers saying past laps of the race, 55 minutes into events, you know, because there's zero tyre wear. I'd like it to be able to adjust it yourself, and then if iRacing mess up the realism of the tyre wear, well then, as a admin, you can just go in there and say, no, that's not realistic, I'm going to turn it up, turn it down.
Yeah, I like how you ended all that with. I love that idea. We're seeing that popularised in ACC. They added a bot variable that is completely unused because ACC matched the bot to IRL. But that's how LFM has become so popular recently, because they've introduced their own bot that is actually based off sim performance, and they let drivers do the laps, much like Rennsport style. You can submit your stints, submit your laps, and that's how the bot works. And yeah, it's an unused variable that LFM have hooked onto to performance mandate the cars. So yeah, I like that idea. But not for the reasons of... not for the other reasons.
Hellenius going back through the order. Already had a instant at the bus stop, but unlike BII, he's able to re-enter the circuit in somewhat of a competitive position, but he cannot get past Van Helden.
I mean, Van Helden was never the slowest of drivers. What's his rating? He's
1.8.
Oh. Matty's looking to get it done here, and will do.
That was a very elitist. Oh, he's only 1/3 of mine.
I didn't figure it like that. I just remember him being fast, so I was just wondering. Yeah, but still, it's a good thing.
Very much overperforming are a couple of the Belgian drivers. Well, Van Helden is one of the Belgian drivers, but the other Belgian driver of De Laat, he's only 1.2k. Jeff Hancock's as well, 1.2k. That is below the average iRacing on the service, but they're clearly much better than that. And yeah, doing fairly well in this race, up multiple places, the pair of them.
Yeah, so we've seen Gremain and Van der Ness swap positions. So Gremain got by for the bus stop. It is a bus stop, right? The last connection bus stop.
So I've changed my mind on this recently. I used to say, no, it's not a bus stop, so it's called the Fun Chicane, but actually, if enough people call something, it's that thing. Like, I'm not going to get my high horse, that's how language works. So if people call it the bus stop, it's the bus stop.
Why do we call it a bus stop, that one?
Because it used to be the shape of a bus stop.
Oh, okay. And we've kept it, right, okay, so the corner's been
Yeah. But like, same logic applies to Parabolica. In my mind, it's still Parabolica, because if you ask 1,000 motorsport fans, what's this corner called? They call it Parabolica, it's Parabolica, you know? It's what the matters.
And xylophone begins with a Z, right?
I mean, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, if enough people are dumb enough to think that xylophone starts with a Z, then yeah.
There's 5 people in chat like, wait, doesn't it? Z? What?
What else is it going to start with? Jason Dilworth saying, I'd rather tyres had more of a cliff. That moves depending on how you treat them early in the stint. It's so linear right now. Yeah, I think
Well, that was sort of how it was last season. Not so much a cliff, but a temperature cliff. So last season and previous couple of seasons, the GT3s have been, if you didn't treat them well, so the first couple of laps really well, you would be very prone to temperature spikes, which would cause a big reduction in both grip and pace. Does seem to have been a big focus of this season to get rid of that and make them more linear. But no, I get where you're coming from, Jason, for sure.
We had some races in Apex Racing League Endurance Championship, the ACES Apex Racing League Endurance Championship, where, yeah, it did seem like some teams had that, where they would do attempt a double stint. And then I remember there was one occasion where one of the teams was losing 3 seconds a lap at Road America by the end of the double stint. And that is quite a good aspect of it. Unfortunately, obviously, why would you ever double stint? Because as Ports has actually lost some of his lead, as you can see on screen, 3.5 tenths of a second now the gap is down to. He lost 2 tenths in Sector 1, 10.5 in Sector 2, matched Sector 3, lost 2 tenths in Sector 4, and then matched in Sector 5. So it wasn't one mistake, but he lost half a second during the lap, and Zach White and Jacob Toffs are right back with the lead now.
Yep, so I wonder what mindset Zach's going to be in. Fuel save, follow, or is he seeing a wounded animal and smelling blood?
Well, he didn't take any hesitancy with Toffs, did he?
No. Let's see. No, Zach's lifting. He'd be smart to fuel save. We know Porter's fast, and if he's struggling with tyres now, Zach can just try and out fuel save him and be really close on the pit in.
Portsy moves past into 7th place. That's on Tokyo. Physically still there. This has just been a group of cars from the very start of the race, really. Tokyo at one point was a bit away from these guys, but he was caught, and I can see Piozzi making a bit of a break for it as well. He looks very strong in that Mercedes tonight. But Tokyo, basically, Panini, Hooper, Graman and Co. will all stay very evenly matched, all in the high 17s, low 18s at the moment. Are those drivers, as we're already nearly a third the way into this 1 hour race.
Fun fact, in 6th and from 5th all the way back to 10th, 6 drivers, all Italian, all running alongside each other.
Nice.
There's a lot of Italians in the top 18. A lot.
We have different series which are popular with different nations. GT3 Trophy is definitely the Italy series. I actually had it as well in Endurance as well. It was Italy. In Porsche Cup, any ideas what nation do Porsche Cup overwhelmingly for us?
I'm going to say French.
It's not French. To be fair, actually, our producer has just whispered. My instinct was Norway. Norway is actually very popular, but also it was told to us Danish as well. There are a fair few Danish drivers as well. So basically, Scandinavians.
Yeah.
Love the Porsche Cup. In the amateur category, I think in Porsche Cup, I think 2/3 of the drivers are Norwegian. Yeah, very popular in that one. But it's very much an Italian series.
We've got Flo in chat cheering on Alessandro Torchio. Flo did the Silverstone 24 with me. Did really well. Hello, Flo. As we're seeing, is that Chris Chatterton being hunted by... that's Mark Hutchinson, right? Yeah.
And a comment, something's happened to Hooper. Is it? I saw him move. Oh, it was a slight disconnect, sorry. Someone on chats, Dino, saying best team mascot is Nigel the Camel for Christander Nomad. And that is the camel on Chris Chatterton's car. And I'm glad that it's got a name, Nigel. Unfortunately, a dying out name. I think there's stats where it's something like 3 Nigels are born a year. It's going extinct is the name.
You read some weird facts, mate.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
Well, there was a Nigel gathering like a few years ago.
Why wasn't I invited?
Why would you be involved? I don't think you quite understand the gist of it. I think it was like 60 people called Nigel, and they met up in the UK, and they just all got they all got on with one another. But unfortunately, it's a dying name. There's not many Nigels. So.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to store that information. I'm not going to lie to you, Sam.
It's difficult to bounce off that, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm struggling. I'm going to focus on Porter, I think, for the moment. That's going to help distract me from what you spoke about. Zach's 2.5 tenths back. Toff's half a second back from Zach. Remains hanging in well, up 3 positions. He's just out of draft. As it does look like Zach is hungriest he's been all race. Let's see.
Oh, something's happened to Bisoglia, and that's going to be a change for the lead in the Pro-Ams, and that has been at Francorchamps. Looks like it's a late spin for him, so maybe an overcorrection. Does he come into the pits? No, so it doesn't seem like he's got a whole lot of damage on that car.
What a shame. He was running really strong for a Pro-Am.
And comfortable as well. Wasn't pushing it, was Marco. He was just sat behind Torquio ahead of Panini. But he's lost a lot of places there, and there's now Simon Hooper. Yeah, Michael Hooper, apologies, he's at the top.
I may have had a sneak peek at, at the replay, but you will get the replay to you soon, chat. I might have got a sneak replay.
Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, man. Man, it's going to be a good replay.
Yeah. It's going to be a good replay.
Antoine Griezmann. Good avoidance is all I can say.
I usually don't look at that screen. Fastest lap of the race by Toffs. I don't know when he did that, but I'm bringing it up now. 17.3. It's a brilliant lap in race. So as long as he's saving that fuel, he's got a big chance.
Stegar Living saying Nation Championship 2024 in Norway is Porsche Cup. So that's why a lot of drivers are using it as practice. It's a massive thing, is the Nation Cup in Norway. Like, every time we drag up a driver for an interview, he's from Norway. Every single time it's, oh yeah, I'm racing to prepare for the national championships. So
wow.
yeah, big thing is that one, and yeah, a lot of Norwegians take it seriously. Awesome to have so many passionate sim racers in that region of the world. I think so. Probably Norway's putting the Netherlands under pressure as the most passionate sim racing nation, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like the majority of my community in Discord and moderators and all that are from the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge. So it's all pros now, the top 9. Hooper hanging on to that 10th spot after losing Bizigali. And that did give Alessandro Torchio a position.
This is our AM leader still. Giacomo Carinante.
Yeah, and
that's the best I've pronounced that so far.
He's, what, 1.8 ahead of his nearest rival, where he's got Ryan Walker behind him in Pro-Am, and then Nicolai Agard in Am, about 1.8, 1.9 seconds back from that.
Yeah, Nicolai had an awful start as well. So he's sort of coming back, is Nicolai. So dare I say he might still be the favourite for the race, but he's got some work to do.
Okay, so we've got the replay of...
This is Bermanis into the wall, and we're just going really light there. Oh, this is on lap 1. He had to save that about 7 times.
Aaron went for a really tight gap there. Oof. Oh, he lost a lot there, Robert. Oh, this is the one we were laughing at. He did he did well to save that, but yeah, he got very lucky there. Had the car snapped.
So this is on board with Griezmann.
Yois. That was well avoided. Yeah, that's the problem with the Audi. That's why I said, like, it's I know we've got a lot of Audis, but it's an hour race, and you know, I'd recommend being at least 4K to do an hour in the Audi, personally, because it's so easy for that moment to happen. And that's why we're now seeing in the top 14, there are only 2 left.
Yeah. 2.
And let's see if it will stay 2. Well, the 2 that are left are very experienced drivers. Sampoli is, what rating is he? As I scan, he is 4K exactly, and Zach's obviously 6.1. I just think, yeah, we're back to this problem. Actually, the last time the Audi was OP, which was, I mean, we're talking, I want to say like 6-7 seasons, it was years ago. It was OP, but I mean, you still didn't see a grid full of them because it was such a tricky and technical car.
Sketchly gaining places, but you will do well to gain this one because the outside line is always going to get bad traction, and Van Grieken holds on. These guys have been racing one another for really from the start of the race. And Van Grieken is staying ahead. By the way, earlier on in this lap, basically with another setback, so he lost about a second in the middle part of the lap, so he's now behind Ubertali. So basically actually falling further back rather than going forwards. I do wonder if it would be wise for him to come into the pits. 60% fuel the drivers are limited to, and so they could come into the pits here and get to the end of the race on a tank.
Yes. Yeah.
It'd be fairly tight. This is a high fuel consumption circuit, but it would just about make it, I think.
Trying to think. You can do half an hour push. No, so no, you can't. Oh no, it's full tank. Is this full tank?
60%.
What's VRS? Do we know? 50% maybe? I'm not sure.
I'm sure. Do you know what the litres are? Because the tanks 100% have 120, don't they?
I think it's about 50 litres. I could be wrong.
Okay, so maybe it's a bit less than 50%. Maybe only 40%.
Yeah.
I hope they can do 30 minutes, otherwise it's going to be a two-stop strategy, which would be, I think, a first for this series.
I think it's like 49. VRS is like 49.
VRS is 50%.
Okay.
According to the chat. 52 litres. Oh, so the tanks are smaller, I thought. My bad.
So what have you done? What do you think the league's percent is?
So the league percent is 60%.
Okay. Yeah, so about 35, 36 minutes maybe.
Top 5 are very close to one another.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up.
This
Very
is what
close.
we've been waiting for this season. Frankly, Silverstone and VAR, a bit disappointing in terms of how close it's been at the front.
Well, whoa, as
That's a mug. And they're all going to have to go for the move now. So Toffs didn't want to go for the move, but he had to go for the move in order to hold on to P3.
Yeah, fill a gap or B field, right?
Oh, Torquay. Oh, he was doing so well. He was in P9, I think.
Yeah, we'll get a replay of that. But, I mean, seeing where he's ended up, I think we know what's happened. And he's lost his rear wing, so he's going to have to come in and be careful.
Yeah, he gets to the other side of the circuit. Ah, he's got a bit of a gap now. He should be all right.
But he's still nervous to turn, I think. Oof. As Hellenius in the winning livery, I think, out there. Fending off Castera there. Mate, he's letting by. That guy's on the charge.
Caserta starts
in the
from the
pits.
back.
Yeah.
I think he had a qualifying ban, if I recall correctly, did Caserta, but I don't think it was an especially good start either. I think he got set back a bit.
So is there a fast repair?
Yes.
Because Torchio's come in at the same time as Greg and Matty, so them two aren't stupid. You can obviously fuel to the end. It is early, but it looks like Alessandro will be able to go to the end. That's good.
Sketchily taking Kevin S. Jr. line. Doesn't hit the wall when he rejoins the track.
Okay, so we've got some pit stoppers running 21, 21 and 20.8 for Greg. So let's see.
T. Grace is saying he's headed towards the finish line and talking about Matty Hellenius. Yeah. It's not very good, is it?
What do you mean ban T?
He should be, yeah, we've just been said that he's got a job offer as T. Graces, because that is our level of puns. We're no better than that, but we choose not to say them because we know that they're poor quality. So Dazzle's had a bit of a problem with it.
T. has done some commentary.
Has he?
The Samsung GT3 thing on the weekends, like been doing for like 4 years.
Does he just say stuff like that?
Yeah, it's no, he's only done it a few times, handful of times. He's a fill-in, but yeah, dad jokes, you know, the whole works.
Okay. All still fuel saving at the top of the field, but there has been a move. Delaval past Bocler. The thing is, when everyone's fuel saving like that, if you're not, like you said before, if you're not going for a move, you're being overtaken. So, as I think Avanzini may have been done. Yes, he has.
Oof.
Oh no, Bisaglia and Sketchley. Wow, 3 of our top pro-ams.
Let's see what happened there.
I'm not sure if Bisaglia's one was connected. I think it may have been separate, Bisaglia's one, but he's been struggling the last 10 minutes as the Italian.
Yeah, 3 incidents in, what, 3 laps? As we see Dalval defending off a very fast BMW there. Can he hold it? The BMW is quick in a straight line.
Oh, he's found a bit of space, Dalval. realised he didn't cover off the place, but they are fighting one another when they should really be fighting the top 3. Delaval eventually gives up on that one. They'll make up the gap because they're doing so much fuel saving ahead of them. They can gain half a second on the brakes into the bus stop alone. But it's still not quite the most efficient strats for them. I mean, even into corners like these, they're making up time on the brakes. So they really are cruising, it looks like, out in the front, and knowing that they can't pull away anyway, so save as much fuel as Adam Hedgecock, who's had an under-the-radar performance, but it would be enough to take the championship lead. He has come into the pits and is now getting back out.
Yep. Yeah, we see his livery, and I swear every event we host here. Is that Greg behind? Yeah, it looks like Greg Hubler with the run, a little bit too far back. We're still seeing a ton of them not boxing yet, so it goes to show they're definitely fuel saving. That gap is still, the top 5 are completely piled on top of each other. Obviously with Romain clearing Delval.
I think Romain's going to send it this time. I think he's going to be past Tofts, honestly, unless Tofts goes for a move himself, but Romain's looking quite aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned the BMW is rapid in a straight line. It really is. And the Porsche is probably the slowest out of this group here.
Oh, he had it covered off, and now he's got to get early on the brakes because he's having to brake almost early for Zach White. Actually realised that he wasn't going to pull it off and will wait till late Coombe. But Porter's sort of happy there in first place. White doesn't want to take the lead, but then everyone behind that wants to get as far up as the snake as possible, so that when they do make the pit stops, they're in a better position. They are being caught a little bit by Sampaoli, but only by 1/10 of a second that last time round. Credit to Pagnini and Hooper. Hooper was half a second faster than the leaders on that last time round, but they are over 7 seconds behind right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, Buckley's obviously faster dude than IB in 7K, but yeah, I mean, surely the advantageous situation right now is to maximise your fuel saving. But as we see, as we see Zach getting the move done. These guys are following each other so closely.
Fastest up the race, by the way, Marcello Caserta. Started from the back in 47th place, hasn't taken a pit stop yet, and he's just gone 1.1 seconds faster than the race leaders. He is currently 42 seconds off the lead, however. So
it's cooking.
This race would need to be about 4 hours long in order for him to catch. So Hooper has actually been gaining for several laps, and he's actually gained 1.5 seconds. You can see the gap on that graphic, and yeah, he has been closing that gap ever since lap 10. And that, I think, ever since sort of Porter lost that gap, I think Porter was pushing very hard in the early stages. Ever since he lost that gap, they've been very cautious of these guys, and they have been backing themselves up. But White is clearly pushing very hard now. Might will be coming in on this time round, and will try to hold on to the lead with the 6.5 tenths of a gap he's built on this second half of this lap of the race.
Let's see if Zach's mapped a clutch for the pull away in pit road. I don't know if he's only just bought the car. He might be in the settings as we speak. It doesn't give you a lot, but it is advantageous, especially when it's this close on track. As they all dive in.
Can anyone do the extra lap? Tofts could. So Tofts stayed out for another lap. He's been in P3, and now he's got to do a very strong lap. Oh, what's going on there with White? That was very slow. Did he speed?
Not sure. Oh, I know. I mean, it could just be a simple... What happened to me on my first race is the endurance layout is 60. The GP is 80. And I tell you what, it's almost muscle memory, because how many times do you do a pit stop in endurance? You know, you prep for endurance, 1,000 laps, and then you come to a sprint race and you come careering down slow to 60, and that's what I did in my first endurance, my first sprint race of the week.
Few drivers taking tyres, few drivers not taking tyres, and White is gonna stay ahead, but only just of Porter.
Excellent pit stop time for Zach there, 18.9. Probably not the quickest entry as we saw, so...
Oh, someone spun. Is that Bokler?
on pit exit.
It is, yeah. And he's cut the pit exit line, so that's going to be a penalty. So Roman Bokler, from having a chance at the race win, it was a slow pit stop for him originally, and now he's lost time. Now these guys are alongside one another for the umpteenth time so far in this race, and this is Portsmouth moving back ahead, and this is great news right now for Jacob Tofts, who is out in the lead in clean air, not having to battle anyone with low fuel, and I imagine Tofts is going to jump the pair of these guys.
Well said, yeah. Zach maximised the fuel time.
Ooh, Sampaoli and Pagnini crashed.
Oh no.
And that's not a good rejoin, that's an awful rejoin. It's an awful rejoin. That was Pagnini.
Yeah.
And that's made contact with a driver who's just come into the pits as well, which is going to really scupper their race.
Yeah, that was terrible. But yeah, I think your call with Tofts is right. Zach was quickest in the pit stall, but had a terrible entry. And then obviously they both lost time with the side-by-side. So yeah, I think Tofts, as long as he's obviously maximised his fuel, went a lap longer. As long as he doesn't screw up the entry. His stop time's good. Doesn't. Someone's dead behind.
Yeah, Van der Nesse, I think.
That's what I've been saying. Like low fuel, high fuel, cold tyres, hot tyres.
Actually, Aske Lauritsen. Mads Lauritsen, he's crashed there. I think his brother, actually, Aske, had a crash there.
Right, we need
on the race.
Tofts to do a sub 19. That's what we need to see. A low 19 or a sub 19. So we'll see as it goes in. Tofts is in the box. 4 seconds, 5 seconds. Let's see. I think if you can do a low 19, then yeah, he should come out ahead. Now the problem is they do get a good run on you because you're coming up the hill slowly at pit exit. But let's see. 15,
16, 17, 18. He needs to go. He needs to go.
19,
it's 5 close.
Yeah, he's was a faster pit stop than Porter. Not as quick as Zach, but obviously they both lost time. Oh no, he's out behind them both. It was not a good in lap. Not a good in lap, unfortunately.
So he's in the draft still, and he's still ahead of Delaval. Of course, Bokler's out of contention now. Bokler hasn't served a penalty yet.
The draft will be broken here because Zach has really strong draft. As Tofts has to go defensive.
Oh, he's wide as well. He's struggling.
Yeah, as long as you can swing your car out wide one more time, I think you can get that defensive done. Problem is, this is Tofts trying to get used to the high fuel level, especially if he's got fresh tyres. I'm not sure if he changed tyres. But yeah, the draft's over, unfortunately, at 1.2 seconds. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what, if we speak to Tofts or what we see, but just looks like his in-lap cost him there. Only by a couple of tenths.
Leader of the Pro-Ams after all of that, Hooper, who's driving a fantastic race. Now 10.8 seconds off the lead, just behind Bokler. That might well turn into P6 if Bokler does have a penalty. Hutchinson's done very well. He's back up to 10th place. He had a half spin earlier on in the race on lap 1. It dropped him probably about 8 positions earlier. But he's been able to recover back to where he was previously in 10th place. Only 14.5 seconds off the lead. And rounding out the top 3 in that class is Van Grieken, who is still doing all right. Bizaglieri coming back up to 14th place. Top of the ARMS is now, still, Giacomo Carinante in 20th position now. So he's getting a few places. And Jonathan Cook, who is very strong back at Silverstone, he's up into 22nd place overall and 2nd in class.
Right, some more replays for us to counter at. Ooh. Oh yeah, we'll take a look at the onboard there. Let's see.
So a bit of contact, but he was already sliding.
Yeah, the Porsche was gone. Oh, yeah, we've all done that. Oh my God, we've all done that in practice. It's a brutal part of the curb, brutal. Oh,
sketchily.
So that's what happened.
There's been some big crashes in F2 around that corner in similar style.
You can see the Neclo goo on the purple car there of him.
Oh no. Maybe he hasn't got a penalty for that. Maybe the pit lane exit line doesn't go to that point. Oh, he has now pitted. I guess he doesn't get back underneath the line because there's other cars.
Oof, that's going to end in the spin. Yeah, that was...
So that was Panini who was the unfortunate victim, but then he did perform the worst rejoin of the season straight after.
Who was that? Was that Dalval? Who was that on the inside?
It wasn't Delaval. Del Piccolo, maybe?
Yeah, it wasn't good. That was only gonna end like that. If you're gonna stick 1 mil of your front of your car in, you cannot blame netcode.
Good to see Alcaraz back out on circuit. He crashed out on the exit of turn 1 on lap 1.
Yeah.
But he's persevered in his new Audi. And he's got Jeff Hancock's to overtake these guys. I mean, they're not that far off. He's gone for it. He's going to get it stopped. And he's done it. That was a surprisingly competitive battle for 31st.
Chat's given us an update. They're correct about yes. Jacob is back in draft. Looks like, Porter and Zach have lost a bit of time, quite a lot of time here. And that's almost brought Dalval back into it.
I don't think there was any mistake from Dalaval to drop off Tofts. Just lost 2/10 in sector 2, 2/10 through sector 3, 3/10 through sector 4. So I think as Tofts has got into the draft, he's been able to drop the Italian behind. But Tofts is looking quick. Genuinely, him and White have raced quite well with one another so far in this race. But it seems like the gloves are coming off now because he's sending it into La Source.
Oh, Zach was really on the rear there. And if Tofts had even breathed near his rear, Zach would have spun. But obviously Tofts is clever because he would have spun into him. So it would have been 0. Yeah, Tofts is looking fast. And I can attest that at the end of the race.
16.8 for Tofts that last time round. Fastest lap of the race.
I never did tell you. I said we went side by side at the finish line. The thing I forgot to mention is he got me by like, careful guys, by, I don't know, a few thousandths.
Yeah. Who was ahead going into the chicane?
Do you want to know something funny? Neither of us. There was a third driver in all of this who was so brave on the braking into the bus stop that this is how we ended up side by side, because I was on the inside trying to defend it, couldn't. He forced me out. Nothing untoward, but I was out wide. So by the time I cut back, it meant Tofts got a better run, and then we ended up side by side across the line. So I technically lost 2 positions in the last bus stop, which was a wee bit frustrating. But it'd been a really tough race.
Roman Bokler is only 21 seconds of lead. Of all the places to cut the pit exit line, this is a brilliant circuit to do it because this is one of the shortest pit lanes of the season, and you cut turn 1. So I think Bokler only lost about 15 seconds by taking the drive-through. You compare that to somewhere like, we were racing at Fuji yesterday, and I think it was, 28 seconds loss going down the pit lane. Because you're going so fast.
The worst one is also here. Spa Endurance layout is ridiculous. Yeah. It's ridiculous how long that takes.
I'm not sure if they even use it in real life now. Like,
Tofts is taking a look, proper look.
Yeah. Yeah, White's not fighting that.
No.
And Dalaval is nearly onto these guys. He's getting a whiff of the slipstream now.
I need to go home. Wait, I can use the Porsche. Tofts is telling me he can, because I'd love to use the Porsche. I think he's just, he's out driving the car. I think it's the best way of putting it. No, the Audis have definitely been dropping since the start of the race. I mean, there's only 4 left in the top 13, only 2 inside the top 10, and one of them being 10.
Mark Tubes asking, can you see who's changed tyres or not? Unfortunately not. That's not something that iRacing tells us. The only way you can tell is looking at the jacks, whether the drivers go up on the jacks during their pit stop. I don't believe Zach did. I think Zach stayed on the ground.
So I'm thinking tyres would be free with the amount of fuel you need, but they'd also be cold for a lap and a half. And especially if you're in a 5-way battle, I imagine I would also opt for just keeping my old ones on.
But it'd only be 2 tyres would be free, because 4 tyres would take, what, 25 seconds? So
Oh,
you'd only
right.
get 2 tires.
Yeah, then no, you'd be seeing tight. The deck's pretty even. To be honest, it's almost non-existent around here.
Yeah, like even if someone has changed tyres, it wouldn't necessarily come to them later on in the race.
No,
Yeah. It's
I wouldn't have changed them. I've been doing
oh, someone's round. Bokler, and somehow getting through was Chatterton. But Bokler and Bizaglia, 2 drivers who were having a fantastic day half an hour ago, and it's gone sour for both of them. And Bizaglia trying to rejoin the circuit. Doesn't want to take back.
that BMW, the way he rejoined, it should be a penalty to not show that you know what your TC button does.
Yeah.
He rejoined like a BMW. We'll get you that replay of what happened there. We can presume the car in front half spun, and you know, then the car behind, there's not a lot they can do. As we're following this close battle, I mean, Toffs is looking like he.
Oh, he's round.
No.
The championship leader, Porter, is round, and White takes the lead.
And that's a slow down for Zach. I don't think you can go out that far.
And it could be a penalty as well post-race for Zach. Apologies for Tofts, who made the contact.
Could be, I'm not sure. Surely Zach has a slowdown. I mean, I only saw it off camera, like in the background. I'm not sure where Tofts is slowing down.
I mean, he's not going to wait for Porter, is he? I mean, I think
No. We'll watch the replay of that. I mean, what we just saw happens. It happens a lot. Of course it happens a lot, because the second you can put the throttle down there, we put the throttle down. And yeah, it's horrible to see, but we'll look at it again for replay. Wow, if Zach didn't get the slow then he knew exactly what he was doing there, because it's not how far, it's how far down. It's not how far wide you go, it is, but nobody can go out that far. But it's if you carry it too far off the track, yeah, then there's a slowdown. It's brutal. Let's see.
So Porter didn't escape without too much damage, at least. I think he did hit the wall a little bit, but it was only a slight tap. It's not going to be another top 2 finish. Of course, first place back at Silverstone, second place at PIR. Now 5th place it's looking like it's going to be. And our top 2 now are 2 drivers who have never won an Apex Racing League event. Nick and Robbie getting over the hurdle tonight, albeit Tofts is still with them. I'm not sure what was going on with Tofts initially, whether it was a slowdown or what, but he seems to be getting back up to 100% speed.
I can't figure it out in my head. I've been thinking about what Tofts did and everything, but he definitely didn't have a slowdown.
I mean, maybe he just was overwhelmed with guilt for 10 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not
Go
sure.
slow. I then realised, I've got to wait 7 seconds, I'm not going to give up that
Yeah,
much
the
time.
closest person was a slowdown was Zach, but he must have just pulled it in time. Oh, as we go, are they going to keep it side by side on this left-hander? Oh, they are. Let's see. Oh, as Mark just lifts on the way out.
Oh, he needs to make sure that he doesn't hit the curb here. Adam, he's all right.
It's a BMW, mate. The curb will move for him.
Oh, he's being squeezed a little bit, is Hedgecock at the moment.
He'll never get this done. Poor Hedgecock. There's just no way. There's no traction out there.
Tofts is into the pits. Why has he gone over the instant limit, I wonder, and got a drive-through maybe? No, he is pitting. Has he got a faster pay he needs to take? Didn't seem like a big hit for Tofts.
It didn't. That was a faster pair. Oh,
I think it was a faster pair. Yeah.
yeah, it looks like a... Right, when we watch the replay, we'll take a look, but maybe the aftermath. Like, we saw the impact and him pushing, but maybe, you know, once Porter's car was spun, he clipped it on the way out. That's all I can presume. It was a meatball.
It's really nice having this. All pit lanes should be this short, because he's just had what on some circuits would be a race-ending instant, taking a faster pair. And he's dropped like 14 seconds or something by taking that faster pair. Good to see him back out in the race competitive. Here was the original overtake for Tofts on Whites to move up into 2nd place. And this was Bokler going into the back of Bizaglia, and
He had a little bit spun by the look of it, a little bit the Audi. I don't know. Okay, here we go. Oh, I don't know. Again, I couldn't judge that from there. Got an onboard coming up, so here we go. Toffs with not great. I don't know.
Is there initially a little bit of netcode contact, which just unsettles him?
Yeah.
Oh, it was quite a big hit for Zach, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't know whether I don't know why Toffs had to pit though. Very strange. Yeah, it did look like Porter's exit wasn't the cleanest. I don't know. I'll let the stewards decide that one. It's tough. It really is tough. Because once the initial contact happened, it wouldn't matter what he did. But yeah, it looks like Zach capitalised from third to first. And his nearest two competitors are where? Fourth and eighth.
Here comes Ubertali.
Yep.
And Van Grieken. And Van Grieken, we saw him defend early on, or for a while, against, I believe it was Chatterton. And he's now doing the same against the 286 machine as well. And to good effect, he's still holding on to third place in the Pro AM drivers. Top of the AM drivers is still Giacomo Carinante, as it has been really from the start of the race. And he's still got 5 seconds over Jonathan Cook, so still looking like it's going to be a debut win for Giacomo Carinante as it stands.
So we've got Jono in chat, who's he spots a lot of my endurance races. He also spots for Zach a lot, and he's reporting Zach's got damage. So expect his elbows to be wide.
Was it a meatball, Johnny?
What?
I'm surprised he...
No, Zach, for Zach. He's saying Zach's got damage.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's all good.
I
He's flashing us, I think.
I mean, I'm not surprised that he's got damage because it was a big hit, wasn't it? But he's holding off Delaval very well. Delaval, third place in the first 2 races. If he wins this, he might be championship leader. I'm not entirely sure. I feel like first, third, and third is enough for the championship lead. So, yeah, it could be an amazing day for the Ferrari, who so far this season, on the most part, has genuinely been a bit under the radar. As there goes Tofts after his pit stop and past Van der Nesse. Van der Nesse, by the way, I haven't spoken about him. He's doing amazing right now. Up 7 places from his very start.
Yep.
And, I mean, obviously he's a pro driver, is Chris, but he's like one of the lower I-rated pro drivers. He's only 4.8k. He's a former champion
Only.
back in the GT3 cars. But a very experienced driver. And yeah, I have no right of calling him only 4.8k.
Everyone in chat's thinking only.
I'm 1.3k below.
When I drive any other car than GT3 or a prototype, I am less than that as well. So Zach quite with a 7/10 gap, but that's fluctuating a lot. It is in draft, and then Porter is 6. It's a shame we've lost the train, but you know, these things happen. I'm sure Porter can. Well, there's 6 minutes left. No, Porter can't get 4 seconds. Looks like Matty Helenis has a little bit of fight left in him, but he's got Alexis behind him, so this is going to be a battle.
Yeah, and they've got Fowler ahead. Gus having a pretty good time of it so far, up 11 places. Adam Hedgecock just ahead of him, up 14 places. I think they're both going to be overtaken before the end of the race.
Yep, and obviously a shout out to Hooper. I think we've already mentioned it, but 3.4k, P5, up 8 positions. That's how you do it.
Like 3 point, that's lower than me. That is lower than me. Ah, there goes Alcaraz. If you're not going to go for the move, I will. He hasn't got it completely done, and
no, not at all.
Come back.
Yeah.
And Aleix is saying, "Why are you fighting? I'm going to overtake you anyway." But maybe Aleix doesn't realise that Matty is one of the most competitive AM drivers in the series, and it would be simple to get past him in the time remaining.
Especially now he's flashed him. You know my rule. If you flash me with your white lights, I'll flash you with my red, and you'll see me very closely.
Aleix is going to send this one. Yeah, Matty. No, he's staying there. He's still staying there.
Oh, what a nice move. Problem is, this corner's very dangerous to defend the outside. Very dangerous.
He's going to get his nose back ahead, but this is where it turns out much better and into Brussels.
That was well defended, though. From what we must say is a very nice looking livery.
So we've got 4.5 minutes to go, which means 2 more laps. We're not far away from a 3rd lap. I wouldn't be surprised if the driver's fueled up for a 3rd lap, because we're only going to miss out on a 3rd lap by about 20 seconds or so. But it will just be 2 more laps to go now.
Yeah. Well, if anyone were watching for fuel, it's Zach. He's the only one with a sub 19-second pit stop. But he knows how to manage fuel. But obviously, the one thing working against him, 2 things. He had a lot of draft in the first stint. Second stint, he hasn't had so much. And he probably didn't think if he'd be fighting off a very fast Dalval, which is probably not helping him fuel save. But let's see. But Dalval was almost in the pits and almost like 6/10 longer, 5/10 longer.
Really no sign that Dalval is going to overtake him so far. The gap has never been particularly small. He doesn't stand out to me, Andrea, as the most aggressive driver in the series.
No, for sure. It's only 5.8k, you know. What could he do?
Yeah. There's the gap. It's coming down a little bit, but when you're talking about that difference, hundredths of a second.
That's a nice overlay.
I really like that graph. Big fan of that graph. Some of the graphs that they had, the other one I'm a big fan of is the lap time comparison. And some of these graphs they used to have in Formula 1, like 5 years ago.
Well, you don't like the new AWS-powered ones now? They're so bad.
They occasionally bring back the tyre performance one. Like
I know.
twice a season, you'll be like, wow, they've still got that.
I love the teams must be looking at it going, you what, mate? What do you mean 34% on our front right? What are you talking about? Like,
and I like as well how they try to justify it where they say, well, no, it's not about the tyre wear, it's about the maximum tyre performance. That's what the graphic is. And that's such an obscure statistic that you can't possibly say that we're technically wrong. You can't prove that it's not correct.
Powered by AI, though, so it can't be wrong.
Oh, yeah. Machine learning. Other buzzwords. I was, and sorry that we might get a little bit off topic. I was watching some a video about NBA graphics and how when a player has the ball in I mean honestly for NBA fans this is horrible to listen to, but in the area close to the net, they have like a percentage thing where it shows what percentage chance has the player got of getting the ball into the hoop. And it's awful because obviously if you watch the sport, you know what the percentage are. You may not be able to put 34% to it, but you know, I will make that 1 in 3 times. What an awful statistic, and it really does demonstrate how you can go too far with information on broadcasts.
Yeah, 100%.
White flag. Gap out in the lead, 0.39. And that's the best chance gone into Lakewood. You can still do it at the bus stop, but now 0.5. I don't think Dalaval is going to do this. I think he'll take a mistake from Zach.
Jono's in chat saying, mate, he has the best spotter. He's good. Jono's giving him wise words in the ear.
You stayed very calm in this race as Zach. I mean, to be fair, all the top guys apart from Bokler didn't really make mistakes. It just came down to that slight instant with Tofts. I'm not even sure if it was Tofts' fault, honestly.
Well, Zach did have one. His start was poor. He'll hopefully admit that. He was a car and a half length away by the leader when the time the leader had went. I mean, I wouldn't even say Porter did anything good. I think Porter just went when the leader went and had the position given to him. But yeah, Zach kept calm.
Here comes the final run then. 0.4 of a second, the gap. And the lights are on now here as well. It's getting a little bit dark in this February in-sim time. But Dalaval isn't close enough to go for a lunge from this far back. He's gaining time in the draft, but it does look like Zach Rattray-White has done what he needs to do. He took a front row start, and he's going to hold onto it to the finish line. And in his first race in an Audi in the series, the quality control racing driver comes out on top and takes the first position. Tofts is going to overtake Graman right at the finish. And is he going to be able to pull it off? The BMW might have some more grunt, but the Porsche's got the better traction. And Tofts does finish in 6th place. That was a good late move. Ahead of them, Hooper with an amazing 5th place finish to finish top of the Pro-Ams. And further back, it will be Carinante to win the amateur class. Jonathan Cook has been closing in these final stages, now only just 1.2 seconds behind. And Cook already having a strong result earlier on in the season. There's a dive in the background for a position, but Carinante would win out of the amateurs. There's an epic battle between Hedgecock and Hellenius. Fowler as well is involved. They're going down to the final chicane. Hellenius is on the outside. Hedgecock might lose 2 places in the closing stages here. He tries to get the power down. He's going to be able to hold off Fowler at least. But I think Hellenius will be delighted with that, able to get up to 26th place.
John, having flashbacks, Tofts just did to that poor guy what he did to me. Exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. He's obviously practiced it. I hope I wasn't the practice material. So I know how it feels. This was a good battle for the Matty Hellenius, Hedgecock, and I forget who the
Fowler.
Fowler. Great battle.
Yeah, good work from all of them. Well, we will go for a quick break, but when we're back, we will go through the final results, and we'll also have a chat with a few of our top drivers. Welcome back to the Apex Racing TV esports studio. Thanks to VRS for sponsoring this broadcast and sponsoring the championship as well. Of course, you can check out their products over on apexracingsim.com, their pedals, their wheelbase and their wheel rim, and purchase them for yourself. But that was a good 60-minute race. I think by far the best race of the season we've had so far, because we had a proper fight amongst the top 5. They were glued to one another for the first 45 minutes, and even the top 2 glued to one another into the final few corners. Yeah,
obviously it was a shame to see what happened. Obviously we let the stewards decide the finer details with looking at the throttle traces and everything. But yeah, great battle. The front 5 I think would have been in the battle all the way. Obviously we had the pit stop exit incident, but yeah, I think fantastic race. Yeah, shout out to Hooper, I think P5 there in Pro-Am. What an epic result.
Yeah, up 8 places from his race start, winning out the Pro-Ams. Let's have a look at the full results. I won't go through all the names again, but you can see Zach White there, 6/10 of a second clear of Delaval, who's now had a second, third, and a third. That is good point scoring. He'll be close to the championship summit. Porter with his worst result of the season in 4th. He was beaten by Puozzi, who was very quiet, but had very good pace to Puozzi. Really lost that 7 seconds all in the early stages. He would have been right up there with the leaders. Hooper with an amazing 5th. Tofts with the fastest up of the race. What could have been for him? He looked rapid throughout. Graman and Van der Nesse, Hutchinson and Van Grieken were the 2nd and 3rd in the Pro-Ams. In the Ams, it was Giacomo Carinante who won out ahead of Jonathan Cook. 3rd place was Nikolai Agard, who had a bad start at Agard. Was able to get back to where he started in the end. And then, of course, we had the Hellenius, Hedgecock and Fowler battle for 4th, 5th and 6th in the amateur category. So, yeah, good work from all of those drivers out there to fight for the top places in each of the classes. Who do we have available for an interview? Would you like to take first dibs?
I would like to drag Zach, yes. I was just spamming him to make sure he joined the interview. Let's drag him up. Hey, Zach, can you hear me okay, mate? Mic's muted, mate. There you go.
I know.
Congrats, mate. How was it?
Hard. Very hard.
Yeah, for sure.
Always on your ear.
Yeah, giggle, mate. Your pit entry, was it a little slow? Or did you think it was 60? That's what I guess, rather than 80? You seemed a bit
Mate,
slow
my pit
on...
limiter didn't work.
Pit limiter didn't work.
No, it didn't.
Oh my god.
I went to hit the pit limiter button, I sped up to 90 and went back down to 60.
Oh my
Lucky
god,
it didn't ping me.
Yeah, for sure.
Terrifying.
Just a quick hot take. What was your take on the Tofts and Porter incident? How close was you to see it?
I was pretty close. I hit Jacob, so yeah, I couldn't avoid it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I went left, I would have hit Alessandro, and if I went right, yeah, probably would have just hit Jacob anyway. Just one of those things, I guess.
Oh, nice, mate. And congratulations on not only the win, but the metrics I like to look at, mate. Fastest pit stop.
Oh yeah,
Well,
nice. Great.
Excluding the
you'll be
entry,
happy
I
about
think
that one.
overall it was quite slow, but stop time was the quickest.
Great, let's go.
So I don't know if you've done any math, but you must be in contention to be leading the championship now. Must be close. 'Cause you
Yeah,
picked
I
up,
wasn't.
a third, second, and a first now.
Third, fourth, or fifth, or whatever it was. Yeah, I didn't want to.
Oh,
I didn't want to cheer when Alessandro went round, but I kind of it was at the back of my mind that that was the
No, I mean,
championship
sure.
leader. So.
yeah. I mean, you didn't cause it, and it dropped both of your rivals because Jacob had to stop for a fast repair. I don't know. From what we saw, it didn't look like he would have picked up enough damage for a meatball, but obviously it was enough because he definitely looked like he stopped for a fast repair.
Yeah, I hit him pretty hard, but yeah, I don't want to see any of them go out in a race like that. I mean, they're fighting hard, but
Yeah, for
if
sure.
I can gain a few points, I will.
Yeah, GG's, mate. Next week we need. Well, no, we've got a few weeks off now, but we need to get your camera on the Apex broadcast so we can see it at the same time. So I'll help you hook that up so you can stream and
Yes.
share it at the same time. We'll sort that out, mate. But apart from that, congratulations, GG's on your first win, and yeah, good luck for the rest of the championship, mate. We'll talk soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Ciao, pal. There, mate.
See ya.
Next up, let's have a chat with Michael Hooper, who was the top of the Pro-Am drivers. Michael, congratulations, man. 5th place overall. You must be delighted.
Hello, thank you. Yeah, I would like to say the race went pretty much according to plan, but I didn't plan for all the cars in front of me to spin, and yeah, in the end I just had to keep it on the track. It's one of my favorite tracks, so I'm probably not really 3.4K rating here, a bit more probably. But yeah, it was a good race for me. No mistakes. Could save a bit of fuel behind the pros. So overall, pretty good experience. Would do again.
Definitely, yeah. If you can keep up these performances, that would be very good for your championship aspirations. How did you find the tyres out there? I think we saw a few drivers take 2 tyres. Some drivers were staying on just the ground during the pits. What was your strat when it came to that?
I didn't take tires. I checked my usage at the pit stop, and I was like 91% on my lowest tire, so I didn't see the need for it, and I went with a bit more wing this time than I did at VIR, so yeah, I had basically no issues during the race. The Ferrari itself is a typical mid-engine car, so if you know what to expect, then you can use it to your advantage. Zach told me some pro strategies for next time, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And what does the festive period look like for yourself when it comes to sim racing? Do you take a couple of weeks off, or are you even more on the sim now that you're off work?
Today was actually my last day at work for the year, so now I have 3 weeks of holiday. I'm gonna do some sim racing. I want to test the Audi because haven't driven it yet, only for a short test after it came out. We do have some Bear Pope League races planned with various cars at odd tracks, so I don't think I'll be getting bored anytime soon.
Good, good. That's what we like to hear. Well, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to, Michael?
Yeah, I would like to say thanks for the Bear Pope members. They've been my second home in sim racing, and it's never been a dull moment with them. So thank you very much. And also to you guys for the broadcast in the league. Good experience so far.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the kind words, Michael. And well, we'll see you back in a few weeks' time at Magellan.
Yep, see you.
Michael Hooper there, your winner in the Pro-Am category tonight. I think we've got one more interview, David.
Mr. Hedgecock, yes?
Yes.
How did he do? Like 4th, wasn't it? 5th? I'm just seeing 2, 3. 5th. Yep, go on, drag him up. Hey Adam, can you hear me okay?
I can, hello.
Hello, and we have a camera. How'd your race go, mate?
We do,
P5 in AM?
Yeah, was hoping for P4, but got done right at the end there. I was listening to the broadcast while I was racing and could hear a little bit of excitement at the end. But yeah, happy with it. Can't complain. I'll always take a top 5 in class, no matter what race it is.
Right, you was with the Matty Fowler battle at the end, of course, I've just remembered.
Yes, yeah,
Well,
yeah, fun
thanks for
battle.
the entertainment.
They're very quick. I mean, Sam will tell you, I've been racing in these leagues for many years, so I was trying to just dig up all of the defensive know-how I could to try and fend them off, but Matty got the better of me at the end.
No, that's good. How's the BM? Have you been finding the BM? I know it's not been the most popular car this week. How's it been treating you?
It's not too bad, I mean, I'm a very conservative driver anyway. I don't push cars. I prefer to just finish. Yeah, the BM's good for that. Like, it's as long as you treat it right, it will treat you fine. It's a little bit understeery, which suits me. But I mean, the Audi did look quick on its debut. The Porker still looks quick, although more on a knife edge by the looks of it. And the Ferrari, that thing's just an absolute rocket ship.
Yeah, I think you're right with the Ferrari. It's not just quick, but it seems to be, out of all the cars you mentioned, the easiest to drive. So that's, I think we actually saw 3 of the top 5 be Ferraris. But I think if you check the start of the grid, it was a lot of Audis. So yes, good.
Yeah.
Good observation.
I don't know whether it punishes the tyres more or anything. I haven't actually driven it yet, so I don't know if it's a tyre thing, but I wouldn't have thought so in GT3s.
So a couple of weeks off, Christmas, and then any tracks you're looking forward to? Any tracks you're dreading?
I mean, to be honest, the calendar is good all the way through. It's a Friday night chill race league for me. Just have a race, have a beer afterwards. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to any of them. I'm get Christmas out the way and then come back to some more nice chilled racing.
Oh, excellent, Adam. Well, have a good Christmas break. We look forward to seeing how your season progresses. You must be doing well on the points. You're a very consistent driver. It goes noticed on the standing. So, yeah, congratulations. Anyone you'd like to give a shout-out to before you head out?
Thank you. Yeah, Mark Hutchinson, teammate. Wow, what a pit strategy that was. He gained like 10 places in the pit stops or something. Fair play to Hutch. You guys for putting on the league and the great broadcasts. I love listening to it while I'm driving. It's very entertaining. And then the team. I mean, you got to do something, right? Some drivers like music. I like listening to you and Sam. Then Altitude and our sponsors, Freem, Finding Speed, Sim Stickers, Mr. Hedge Photography. I think that's all of them. Grumpy Dad Designs. There's always one.
There's always one. All right, well, thank you, Adam. And yeah, have a nice Christmas break.
Cheers. And you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, good result there for Adam. And yeah, he might be championship leader after tonight. Maybe... I'm trying to think who else was up there.
Well, Matty won the first one, had a bad finish.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be tough.
Everyone's had a bad race apart from Adam. Because Atanasov was at the top before, but Adam beat Atanasov. So yeah, I think Adam is now championship leader in the AM. So congratulations to him. Some very consistent results for him so far this season. That is all the interviews complete. Christmas break coming up now. Well, I mean, we've got late Apex coming up in a few minutes' time.
Yeah.
But what do you think the driver should be doing during the break? What would you be doing if you were in like a league? Do you like to have a break mid-season when there's a chance, or is it a chance to practice all the circuits coming up?
I think for me, doing this full time, it is a chance to get away from the sim, but I do get withdrawals, so I usually find myself back in there. Yeah, you want to stay sharp. You can't, if you take 2 weeks off or a week and a half off, it's very difficult to get that edge back that takes time to build up. But no, I mean, these drivers are doing fantastic. Pit stops and staying out of trouble. That's the biggest two. With a league this size, where there's 50 cars, getting so focused on the odd position or two, but costing yourself a drop in huge points, because it's not glamorous. But the best way to win a league is to finish strong every round. Avoid the bad rounds, and you don't have to have the peak wins to win a championship like this, especially this length, and it's been this many drivers. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes down. I don't think this is going to be a runaway league.
No doubt about it. Yeah, all 3 championships are really competitive. All 4 championships, even the teams, I think will be close to the season finish. So do definitely keep tuned on what's going on. Of course, that's it for the year, but we have still got another 8-9 of these rounds coming up in the new year, starting on January the 5th will be the next round of this championship. Of course, once again, do check out the Apex Racing League Prototype Championship. That's going to be starting on the 4th of January. You've got a few weeks to sign up to that, so it's still Thursday evenings in GTP cars, so do certainly check that one out. And of course, if you've enjoyed this video, please do leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel. We've got lots more broadcasts coming out. I think we've got Weekend Warriors still on Sunday coming up. We've got the final Apex Racing League event of the year on Tuesday in the Porsche Cup. That's always a lot of fun, going to be an hour long, that race in the Porsche Cup. So it's like the alternative formats on that one, and many other broadcasts. And of course, please do check out the Apex Racing League and Apex Racing TV social media accounts. That's on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And obviously, we're going to be live on here in about 30 minutes. So just leave the page open. You know, we'll be back. No, it's YouTube, not Twitch. Yeah, we'll be live again in 30 minutes.
Yeah, probably not even 30 minutes, but like 15 or something. We're going to be discussing on the late Apex F1 esports. What's going on? They've cancelled more races for some reason. We'll try to figure out why. And there's been plenty of other news, Rennsport, and of course iRacing, special events, all sorts. So do tune in to the late Apex in a few minutes' time. But for now, from this broadcast and for the 2023, for this series at least, myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, and David Sampson will say goodbye, and we'll see you at Mugello in 3 weeks' time. See you then.